Hello and welcome everyone to day 40 of Awakening to Ascension. I am your host, Alex Nelson. I'm here with Janae. Tonight, we're going to be talking about spiritual pressure. So, anytime during this episode, if you want to comment ways that you deal with spiritual pressure, drop those in the comments. So, spiritual pressure is it's it's kind of infuriating on a couple different levels. Because in order to like practice spirituality or to even teach it, there's this expectation of perfection. Like with Jesus or Lao Tzu or Guan Yin, all these ascended masters, they set the bar so high for us. I mean, and even Buddha, you know all of them. That, so, I mean, they set a great example, but they committed their entire lives to the work that they're doing, the spiritual work, to help them cultivate this growth within and to help others find it without. But we're all humans, and you don't have to be perfect to teach. I mean, you should practice what you teach. I think that's appropriate. But for those of us that do meditations daily, we do yoga daily, we just live and embody this spiritual sense of belonging and unity with everybody, like it does get exhausting, especially when there are so many other people out there that crap on us, basically. Like they get rewarded for being bad people by ripping each other off. And we, the ones that want to turn the other cheek when we're wronged and forgive people regardless, we're super easy to take advantage of. And that makes this journey even that much more exhausting. So, the main message that I'd like to portray today is that there's a reason that we came down here into the three-dimensional world, right? We wanted to be separate from all the spirituality. And now that we've gone so far from it, a lot of us are trying to bring it back. But it's the main message is also be okay with being human. Like it's okay to take a day off. It's okay to wake up late as long as you moderate, right? Like everything requires balance. Everything's okay in moderation. Just stick with how you feel in your body. Listen to yourself. If you need a break, give yourself a break. Janae?
Oh, Alex, you couldn't have said it better. You couldn't have started this conversation off any better. And I think that burnout, spiritual burnout is a real thing. You are you putting this great expectation on yourself to be this perfect spiritual being. And when I first started my journey, I really thought, I was like, wow, you know, how do they do that all the time? Because it's sometimes a little bit impossible because the reality of this three-dimensional world does come to play sometimes. And the unpredictability of challenges, of daily occurrences. I'm a mom, okay? And if Mason gets sick unexpectedly, which he used to do often when he was much younger, if he's vomiting and he wakes up vomiting early hours of the morning, but I would wake up early hours of the morning to start my day with a meditation and a HIIT workout and a cold shower. But I need to tend to my sick child. So obviously, I would then take my spiritual practice, it would take a back seat. And then I felt guilt. So throughout the day, I felt this heavy guilt like, oh, you didn't practice today. And now what? You're going to step back 4 steps. But in essence, it actually is good practice to step back from your spiritual practices because just like anything, Sundays in religion are a day of rest. We are not supposed to do anything. And when I did a course, one of the courses I did was Sundays were complete and utter relaxation. You don't do anything, speak anything, be anything. You are just in a state of relaxation and you enjoy your family and your friends. And I think that we've lost a little bit of that because society's put this pressure on us, this pressure to be perfect. And social media is also sometimes detrimental because you're watching so many people and it looks like they're practicing every day, but in essence and in reality, we're not practicing every day. To be very honest with you, as you become and transition into teaching, so if you are a yoga teacher, if you are a meditation teacher, if you are a hypnotherapist and practitioner, because you are giving the service, you tend to find less time to practice yourself. So that's what I'm finding challenging as a practitioner that is giving the practices. I sometimes struggle to give those practices to myself. I'm filming meditations, I'm giving meditations, I'm doing classes, I'm aiding in various projects, and I'm finding less time to also do things myself. So this pressure is a real thing, and I think it's a good topic to be quite truthful about because we're not perfect. And I think we should embrace that. And also just be human too. We're allowed to. We're supposed to enjoy this and not be spiritual all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Be human. As long as you're not hurting somebody else, be human. The reason we recommend the meditations is so frequently, and like, yeah, it is good if you can do it every day. But along with the spiritual pressure, so when I had my awakening, my spiritual awakening, I felt this almost an impending doom feeling. Like if you don't meditate all the time, the world's gonna end and implode or something crazy. So like I started to feel guilty about meditating. If I wasn't meditating, I wasn't living the best life. There was a day I think I meditated for about 8 hours straight. I spent an hour on each chakra, and that pushed me towards burnout. Like those kind of things, because like the way I see it with meditation, it's different than other activities you do. So say if you're a runner, you run every day, you stop running for like a week, then if you start running again, you like have to kind of get back up to where you were. When it comes to spirituality, I feel like your progress it just stays. Like say if you needed 350 hours of meditation to reach your next level of meditation, you could do like 300 hours 1 year, stop for 2 years, and then you just pick right back up. So like you just maintain that sense of like calmness that meditation brings with you. And there's this one saying, I think it was Buddhist, where a monk asked Buddha, if I meditate for 10 minutes a day, how many years will it take me to reach nirvana? And Buddha said, 1,000 years. So then the guy was like, well, if I meditate an hour a day, how many years will it take? And Buddha said, 30 years. And then the monk says, well, if I meditate 24 hours a day, when will I reach nirvana? And Buddha said, 1,000 years. So the point is that we need balance. We need balance. That's what we're here for. So it's not just you do it as much as you can and it's going to happen. You just mix it in with your daily life. And when you can get to it, you can. And when you don't, when you're not able to, give yourself grace. Yesterday.
Oh, you couldn't have said that any better. You know, I love stories. Stories are so relatable, and I think people remember a story. So thank you for sharing that. And I'd also just like to say sometimes if you are too obsessive, and I use the word obsessive over your spiritual practices, you could actually start causing blockages. And sometimes what happens is your clairvoyance or your claircognizance and the way that the messages were coming through to you, how your guides and angels, whoever your team are, they stop communicating. And I've had that experience as well because they are trying to also let you know that it's because you're practicing in the obsessive frame of mind, they won't come through as naturally. So it has to be a very natural. Alex said it. If you feel into it, don't do it. So if you're feeling tired, so this morning, for instance, I was absolutely exhausted. So I listened to my body and I chose to sleep an extra 2 hours because it's serving nobody for me to do a meditation, but I'm half falling asleep, so I'm not quite aware and conscious in any way. So then what I actually land up doing is becoming more tired. And in essence, then I'll burn out. So it is something that you should feel into and listen to, and also understand that we are all we're all doing this and nobody is practicing all the time. So we've got these individuals and they are incredible, these successful individuals that have these morning routines and do this and do that, but it's impossible for you to be doing it every single day for the rest of your life, the exact same. You can't. Like I said, life happens. And you also just have to live life a little bit too and give yourself a bit of a break. Yes, Alex.
Yeah, I mean it's always good to have the intention, like if you want to have a daily routine, you can have that intention. That's okay. But when you notice, and I mean it might take a long time for you to get into that groove as well, but if you notice that it's just causing more burnout, become aware of that. Take a step back. Totally okay.
And something else as well, somebody said to me when you mentioned that you should be practicing what you preach, essentially. So it's drinking your own Kool-Aid. All right. And how are you expecting somebody to enjoy your Kool-Aid if you're not even enjoying your own Kool-Aid because you haven't even tasted it? So, with regards to all of my practices and everything that I embody, I share daily sparks to allow humanity to vibrate on the same frequency as a collective, to allow us individually to vibrate at a frequency that is in the rhythm of the earth and the moon and in alignment. And I do it in such a specific way where I share 6 practices, all very different time frames, and I give a total amount. So generally it's ranging from 45 minutes to an hour. But if you only have 5 minutes, I tell you which practice is 5 minutes because I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid. Some days I don't have an hour to do the sparks. Some days I only have 5 minutes. So, as a spiritual being, if you're listening, please allow your viewers, your supporters, to have various options and also be truthful in your practice as well. So, something that I embody is this lifestyle element. You would naturally brush your teeth every single day. But let me tell you, are you telling me that you have never forgotten to brush your teeth before? Hey, Alex, have you had some days where you kind of didn't brush your teeth?
There was one day this week.
So sometimes in the lifestyle we are creating, we're not going to brush our teeth. And that's okay. There's some days we stay in our pajamas the whole day. So I think this was a really much needed topic because I believe that we're living in a world where people have facades. And that's what I appreciate about Awakening to Ascension and what we're sharing and what we're offering, because we are being so completely authentic. None of us are wearing any form of mask. We're being ourselves, Some days we've got a lot of energy, some days we're a little bit calmer, some days we're not, so allow yourself to just be imperfectly perfect.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to emphasize that point too to all of the other spiritual teachers and guides out there, because we are all on the same side. So we should give realistic expectations of what we can all do, right? Like no one of us are perfect. But then another thing that came to mind about pressure, the spiritual pressure, and how we feel this constant need to to be perfect or to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, and it is heavy. Like this pressure feels really, really heavy. But with pressure, like think of a diamond and the coal that gets pressed from all that pressure from one of like the most gritty materials on the planet to the hardest and the most beautiful. Well, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but it's generally believed that diamonds are like one of the most beautiful gems, right? They don't exist without that pressure. So when you're feeling the pressure, if it's not too much, do what you can to learn to embrace the pressure. And also with what she was saying about the brushing the teeth, this world is unpredictable. That's how we like it. So when the wrench gets thrown into the spokes of your tires, just flow with it. Just try to be like water. Yes, Janae.
And I think it's so important to allow yourself to be authentically yourself around others and understand and realize that there's communities that are waiting for you. So take take off this suit of unrealistic expectation, and when you are feeling pressure, which there is so much pressure. What a lot of the spiritual teachers and light workers are busy working on is it's extremely important. And there is a lot of pressure on us because of the severity of everything that's happening in reality. So when you feel that pressure, please find support and reach out if you feel like you don't have support, because you really do. And we will walk, all of us are holding hands. Alex said we're all in this together. This separation and this harshness towards one another is very unnecessary. And I think the time is here that we're all realizing that. So we're meant to hold hands and we're meant to encourage one another. And when one is under pressure, another one isn't under as much pressure. So they have the capacity and the space to be there for you while you are under pressure. And you would be the same for them when they are under pressure. There's a story about a gardener and a garden. You always have to have both. So when the gardener is watering the garden is growing, but you have to also swap. So the garden needs to become the gardener as well, and then water. So you keep watering each other. So I really think that it's a beautiful world we're stepping into and have already stepped into. And the realism is so phenomenal because we're all realizing and remembering just how we're supposed to embody everything, all of us, and we are loved and we are received. So thank you. Thank you for all of you that receive us so beautifully. And thank you for all of those that have helped us in our pressured moments. And we only hope that we are helping you through your pressured moments, because We are all diamonds. And it's such a beautiful thing because we are light and diamonds shine bright. So thank you.
Absolutely. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. In closing, I just want to emphasize Janae's point on community. Things are kind of rough right now for a lot of us, and having somebody else there to help you through it is gonna change your life. I mean, and I recommend joining a community. It doesn't have to be ours. The best part about being on the New Earth side of things is we all have the same end goal in mind. So whether we're together in the beginning or closer to the end, we're all gonna like we're all collective. We're all connected. We're unified. But you are welcome to join our community. We have got an awesome crew of people. I'll put the link in the description below. I would love to have you on board. But if we're not your fit, you can find somebody else and just to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it if you like and comment, subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you next time.